Manchester United won, West Ham won, Man United stumbled into the top four spots. Kish, how are you feeling after that game?
Relieved, disappointed, but relieved, man.
Why are you feeling relieved for?
Um, because when we went a goal down, obviously it was on the stroke of half time.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what, and the way we were playing, I didn't see a way for us to get back into the game. We looked so lethargic. Bruno looked off the pace today. Pogba looked off the pace today. But I don't know what he did there as well. You've got to take the shot in the face, man. Yeah, I mean, thank God for Greenwood, man. Thank God for
Yeah.
Greenwood. And thank God he buried that, man.
Honest to God, Greenwood has just fully saved us. Let's be real, innit? I understand the sentiment in terms
Yeah.
of you're relieved because me watching the game as well, I didn't feel like we were going to score either. We've got communities saying big up lads, thank you mates, thank you. But yeah, I didn't feel like we were going to score, so I think relieved is probably the right word given the result. But what do you put it down to in terms of performance, man? Because this isn't the first time. We've been saying it for a few weeks now.
Yeah.
We actually started all right this game, I thought. Obviously not fantastic, but the first 15 minutes we got two shots off. Marcel had 1.5 chance, so did Greenwood. But after that, we just seemed to allow them to get comfortable.
It's the first phase of our build-up. It's too slow. So from Maguire to Matic or Pogba, that little routine there is too slow. It's way too slow. And time again, we saw De Gea play the ball out to one of the two of our centre backs, and the play was just from left to left to right to left. So sorry, 1 second.
Sorry.
So it was. It was too slow. And then, our play quickens up when we reach the final third, when we reach players like Martial. At one point, I saw Greenwood having to drop where, I think this was in the first half, I saw Greenwood dropping to where Matic plays to come and collect the ball.
Yeah, it was just not receiving at all, whether.
Yeah, no, exactly. And when you see that, you automatically know that the play's not quick enough, and the front men aren't getting the ball quick enough. So yeah, it needs to be quicker, man. It needs to be a lot quicker. And we miss Shaw. We miss Shaw, man. It's so late.
I've been saying it, man. I've been saying it. He gets too much disrespect. Obviously, he's not fantastic, but he offers a lot going down the wing. Ali's just commented as well. He's put loving it, but his Sunday will be tough, which I completely agree. He's also, made a comment regarding what you're saying. Matic and Pogba were too close. It was LVG sideways, and I wanted to ask people about this. And this is just my personal opinion, right? And obviously, I was very critical of Ali and my match reaction. Why is Pogba playing next to Matic, right? When he doesn't need to be there. Why can't he be in a 4-3-3, right? And why can't he push forward? I know Gary Neville said it in the commentary, right? But I've just been thinking it for a while. If we're going to control a game and peg a team back, why is Pogba so deep? Because it makes it so obvious. When the ball goes to Bruno, he's got two options, which is down the wing. And it's hard for him to get that eye of the needle ball. But if he's got Pogba there, they can hit a 1-2. They can Pogba to run off Martial. There's no one. There's no like Frank Lampard, always famous for that run past the striker. Yeah. How many times do our midfielders do that? I can't think of any, apart from Bruno here and there. What were your thoughts? Because obviously, like Ali said, it was very reminiscent of LVG football.
Yeah. Pogba seemed to stop every time. So every time he played a one pass to Matic, I'd expect him to push forward.
Right? The attack.
I'm in total agreement with you, Usmaan, on that. Like he should have pushed further forward. Whether he's been told.
That's tactical, man. Ali said we're playing two CDMs at West Ham, and again, I'm not going to be a hypocrite here and sit here and say, look, if that wasn't Jose, I wouldn't be crucifying because I would.
We probably would. Yeah, absolutely. It wasn't. It wasn't probably the best tactically, but at the same time, you've also got to see it from the perspective of Ollie. He probably doesn't want to risk losing this. I mean, we almost did. We at half time we were 1-0 down.
Yeah.
But I mean, we need 1 point from the next game now. So it's still in our hands. It's not out of our hands. So
Are you still confident going in? Because obviously you seem fairly, like you said, relieved, but you still seem very optimistic. Of course, the performances don't really matter at this stage because the only thing that matters is the result. So are you still optimistic going into that game Sunday?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, the Chelsea game was a terrible, terrible performance. I think today, I think we could have got some fundamentals a little bit better. Again, players had off games, but we're in Premier League, in the Premier League, we're still unbeaten, right? For however many games.
I think it's 13 games now, if I'm not wrong.
13 games, right? So at least one thing, because I always try to look for positives, Usmaan, as well, right? And one thing that a positive that I did take from today is that when we were losing, we fought back at least, so we didn't lose the game. There'd be times last season or even previously in this season as well where we'd probably crumble and we'd let in another goal.
I hear what you say. I hear what you're saying, and I appreciate you trying to be. I'm just playing devil's advocate here, obviously, and trying to look But wouldn't you say at the same time we're at home? We need to be setting the precedent. We allowed West Ham to get into the game, and there was a moment in the second half that there was a 10-minute period. The statistic came on the screen. They had 75% possession at Old Trafford. My disappointment was when we scored that first goal, right? And it was a moment of brilliance, which is what someone said in the comments here from two individual players. Why did we not go for it? It's like we were scared. Like what I said in my match preview was, this is almost like a bonus game. Because hypothetically speaking, worst case scenario, we lose this game, right? We have to win against Leicester anyways, because we can't go into Leicester thinking we need a draw, because we're not going to get that. It's like when when you've got ambition, you should always aim up here, because if you don't get it, you'll get here, and that's how our mentality should be in the next game. So that's my only concern. What are your thoughts? Do you think he played it too safe, or do you think he did what he needed to do, basically?
I mean, it's a tough one to call, one, because if Pogba, look, I'm not saying that we, because in that, look, I'm not saying that he might have set up that way, because we he in the first half he was pushing up, right? He wasn't absolutely defensive, but I get what you mean, because there were times I'd see him collect the ball basically next to Maguire.
Just to interrupt you, Liverpool have scored the game, by the way, it's 2-0. I don't know if that.
Brilliant. Hopefully they pressure it. That's good. That's good for the goal difference as well. But without that handball, we go in at half time at 0-0, right? So we've got to remember that, right? That's yes, we were under pressure, but we dealt with a lot of what they threw at us. And if it wasn't for that handball, we don't go 1-0 down. And who knows, we could have come out in the second half, got this goal and it would be a victory. And we may be talking about this game a lot differently, right? If we get a 1-0 victory and we secure the victory.
Of course. Obviously, everyone's going to be like, it doesn't matter. But when you have results like this, you've got to question things. Last thing I want to ask you, and I'm going to ask everybody this, we're both massive fans of Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
Disaster class for him today.
Yeah. No, not a good game at all. Again, I watched with my friends and I said to them as well, he's not had a good game. Fernandes didn't have a good game either.
Absolutely, he didn't.
So both of those looked a bit off the base. For Rashford looked a bit. Their right back, the young lad. I don't know his name. He looked.
Is it Johnson? I can't remember his name. It might be Johnson.
I've no idea, but he looked pretty good, and Rashford, he looked a bit afraid to take him on.
I think Rashford made him look good today, man. He tried to get past him twice. Once he got collided, the second time he skinned him like he's not there. William sent him to the shop. He's not good. Let's be real, innit? Rashford just looked scared today, innit? It was an off. We've got a comment here saying it was just an off day as well. Look, it happens. It happens. But I never thought I'd be happy to say this, but Liverpool are winning 2-0, which means we are currently sat in third. So at least that's a positive, isn't it?
That is a positive as well, man, definitely. And we go into the final game with our destiny in our own hands. So
absolutely. And if someone gave us that at the start of the season, I think we all would have taken that. So let's go on. Sorry, last point. Go on.
We've got to remember as well, we were 14 points or whatever off the top four. A couple of months back. So however 6-7 months ago, we were a long way off. So to be in this position, I think it's definitely positive. And come on, United, man. Let's do this.
Come on, United. Sat in third, Kish. Okay, we'll leave it on the positive. Anyways, thank you very much for your time, my guy. As always, check out his Instagram. Drop him a like. Drop him a follow. You can like his pictures as well. Looking absolutely gorgeous. The fuck yeah. Anyways, come on, man. Thank you. I appreciate your time, bro.